Marie Curie, a chemist, a physicist, a woman. She was a great woman who not only broke boundaries in the world of science, but also challenged the idea of the working woman. She successfully proved that gender has nothing to do with one's ability to achieve great things. Maria Sklodowska was born in Warsaw, Poland on November 7, 1867, as the youngest child of Bronislawa and Władysław Sklodowski. Her father was a teacher of mathematics and physics, which influenced Maria to also pursue. Maria first attended a boarding school and then a gymnasium for girls. After a collapse due to depression, she moved to the countryside with her father's relatives. Later, she moved back to continue school, but because she was unable to enroll in a regular institution for higher education because she was a woman, she attended Flying University, an underground educational institution that admitted women. In the beginning of 1890, Bronislava, her sister, invited Maria to join her and her husband in Paris. Maria declined because she could not afford tuition for the university in Paris. Instead, she stayed in Poland, continued her education, and started tutoring. She began her practical scientific training in a chemical laboratory at the Museum of Industry and Agriculture. By the end of 1891, Maria moved to Paris, where she would be later known as Marie. Later that year, she enrolled in the University of Paris, where she studied physics, chemistry, and mathematics. She studied during the day and tutored in the evenings. After she got her degree in physics in 1893, she worked in the industrial laboratory of Professor Gabriel Lippmann, and after got her second degree in 1894. Later, Marie met a fellow scientist, Pierre Curie, who was an instructor at the School of Physics and Chemistry. Their mutual passion for natural sciences drew them together, and they started working together in Pierre's laboratory. Eventually, Pierre proposed, but Marie declined as she was planning to move back to Poland. She decided to pursue her career in Poland, but was denied a place at the Krakow University because she was a woman. Then a letter from Pierre convinced her to go back to Paris and pursue a PhD. After she came back, they got married on July 26, 1895. Influenced by the discoveries of Wilhelm Röntgen and Henri Becquerel, she started her scientific research on radioactivity. Using Pierre's invention, the electrometer, which is a sensitive device for measuring electric charge, she discovered an innovative technique to investigate samples. She hypothesized that radiation didn't come from the interaction of molecules, but the atoms themselves. This was a very important discovery because it disproved the ancient assumption that atoms are invisible. In July 1898, Marie and Pierre published a joint paper announcing the existence of the element polonium, which they named in honor of Marie's homeland. On December 26, the Curies announced the existence of another element, which they named radium. To prove their discoveries, they decided to isolate the elements in pure form. In 1902, they separated 1/10 of a gram of radium chloride from a ton of the mineral pitchblende, and in 1910, Marie succeeded to isolate pure radium metal. She never managed to isolate polonium, which only has a half-life of 138 days. In June 1903, Marie was awarded her doctorate from the University of Paris. Marie and Pierre were invited to speak at the Royal Institution of London, but Marie was not allowed because she was a woman. In December that year, the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences awarded Henri Becquerel, Pierre, and Marie Curie the Nobel Prize in Physics. With that award, Marie became the first woman ever to win a Nobel Prize. After receiving the award, Pierre was offered a professorship and the chair of physics in the University of Paris. And upon Pierre's complaint, the University of Paris agreed to make a new laboratory. But on April 19, 1906, Pierre was killed by a road accident. He was walking in heavy rain when a horse-drawn vehicle hit him, and he fell under the wheels, causing his skull to fracture. Marie was devastated of her husband's death. But on May 13, 1906, she was offered Pierre's position at the University of Paris. She accepted it, hoping to create a world-class laboratory as a tribute to Pierre, and became the first female professor at the university. Curie's work became internationally known, but her reputation was questioned after she was in an affair with a married man, physicist Paul Langevin, and was called a Jewish homewrecker. But the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences had overcome the scandal and awarded Marie with another award, this time for chemistry. This award was in recognition of her services to the advancement of chemistry by the discovery of the elements radium and polonium, by the isolation of radium, and the study of the nature and compounds of that remarkable element. Curie was now not only the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, but the only person ever to win two. During World War I, Marie saw the need for field radiological centers to assist battlefield surgeons. She developed mobile radiography units, which were known as Little Curies. She became the director of the Red Cross Radiology Service, and in 1915 produced hollow needles containing radon, which was used for sterilizing infected tissue. After the war, Marie toured the United States to raise funds for research on radium. In August 1922, Marie became the member of the International Commission for Intellectual Cooperation of the League of Nations. She wrote a biography for Pierre Curie and visited Poland for the ceremony of the Radium Institute in Warsaw. To fund radium for the Radium Institute, she went on another tour of the U.S. Marie Curie died on July 4, 1934, from aplastic anemia from long-term exposure to radiation. She was buried in a cemetery in Sceaux, along with her husband. In 1995, both of them were transferred into the Pantheon in Paris. Marie became the first and so far the only woman to be honored with interment in the Pantheon. At a time when women were considered subordinate and inferior, Marie Curie was a vanguard of not only redefining social norms, but also worked to find discoveries that would revolutionize the study of radioactivity. Despite all odds, Marie changed not only the perceptions of women in science, but all women, who work hard and stand up for what they believe in. She paved the way for generations to come and continues to be an inspiration to many women around the world.